When I was in my final 2 years of high school, I'd get tutored for maths by a guy we called Brian. Brian was at least 65 years old and worked for the tutoring centre. I'd see him 2 afternoons a week for 45 minutes each. He seemed like a very lonely guy, never married, no kids, and from what I could tell, he had very little friends. I felt quite sorry for him. I was always really nice to Brian, and to avoid having to do maths homework, I would just ask him questions and try to start a conversation. All was well when I finished high school, and that was that. About 1 year later, my best friend's younger brother got tutored by Brian as well, and one day when dropping my friend's brother off, I said, "Say hi to Brian for me," as we got out of the car. About a week later, I received a letter in the mail. It was from Brian. He was saying how he'd really like me, and now that he was tutoring Ben, friend's younger brother, he was excited that I mentioned to say hi. He took this the wrong way, and in the letter basically confessed the feelings he had had for me, and was so glad I felt the same way. He said some very creepy things in the letter about how I looked good in my school uniform, and always wanted to tell me that, but didn't want to get in trouble. I told my parents about this letter, and they approached the tutoring centre and told the owners. He ended up getting fired for this letter, and also for accessing personal information of clients for him to send the letter. About a week later, I started receiving flowers at my doorstep, and then that would be followed up with text messages to my mobile number, saying,
"Hope you like the flowers, and give me a call if you want to get a coffee."
My parents took this to the police, who then got in contact with Brian, and he was cautioned, and I never heard from him again after that. Although, according to Ben, Brian might have met a quite terrible fate in the end.